Right, the second video in the fractions unit is going to look at converting between mixed and improper fractions. It is an important topic purely for the fact that it can be asked in such a wide variety of fractions questions. If we have a look at converting from mixed to improper, first of all, you'll notice that I've just drawn 3 circles and I'm in the process of shading them. The first thing is to look at what these circles have been split up into. They've been split up into 3 equal pieces, which you'll hopefully recognise are thirds. Okay, so as a mixed number, we've got 1 whole, 2 wholes, and 1 out of 3 pieces left. We've got 2 1/3. Okay, 2 whole ones and 1/3 left over. To put this as an improper fraction, the first thing we want to establish is what the circles have been split up into. So, as I said earlier on, 3 equal pieces, so thirds. So our first step is to write something over 3, okay? We're going to count the number of thirds that are in them 3 circles in total, okay? So we're going to have something over 3 to denote how many thirds we got. Now, the first circle, we've got 3 thirds. The second one, we've got another 3. And then the last one, we've got 1. So 3 in the first one, 3 in the second one, that's 6 overall, and 1 in the last one, that's 7. Okay, so we've got 7 thirds, or as an improper fraction, 7 over 3. Now, there is a shortcut for converting between mixed and improper rather than drawing the diagrams each time. Step 1 is to multiply the denominator or the bottom number by the whole number in front of it. Step 2 is to add the numerator, and then step 3 is to just copy the denominator from the original question. Okay, so if we have a look at an example quickly, 2 4/5. First step, multiply the little bottom number by the whole number, so them 2, 5 times 2. Step 2 is to add the top number, the numerator, the 4, and then step 3 is to just copy the little 5 that's at the bottom, the denominator. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10. Add the top number, 10 add 4 is 14, copy the bottom one, so 14 over 5. Going the other way, then, so from improper to mixed, we're going to do basically the opposite of what we did in the first section. So I've drawn these little squares and I've written halves in them. As an improper fraction, that's 7 over 2, okay, because I've got 7 lots of them halves. Now, to write this as a mixed number, first of all, I need to find out how many wholes I've got there, okay? So hopefully you recognise that for every 2 halves that I've got, that gives us 1 whole. So I'm going to try and put these into groups of 2, okay? So there's 1, 2, and 3. I've got 3 wholes, and then the last one, you'll notice, is on its own. I can't group that up with anything because, as I said, I need 2 halves to make a whole, and unfortunately I've only got 1 left. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3 wholes, and then a half left over. So 7 over 2 is the same as 3 1/2. Now, like with the first one, there are shorter steps. Step 1 is to divide. Step 2 is to find the remainder, and step 3 is to copy whatever the denominator was in the original question. Okay, so if we have a look at another example quickly, 17 over 5. Step 1 is to divide. So how many lots of 5 go into 17? Well, if I do my 5 times table, 3 whole times, so I'm going to write a big 3 there. Yeah, 3 5s are 15. What remainder have I got left? Well, 3 5s, as I just said, was 15. We want 17, so I've got 2 as a remainder. I'm going to write that as the top number of that little fraction, and then you copy whatever the bottom number was, and it's still highlighted for me, it was 5. So 17 over 5 is the same as 3 2/5 as a mixed number, okay? As I said earlier on, this never changes. These conversions will always work, okay, for the relevant conversion, for the relevant way in which you're trying to go. Okay, it's just a case of sitting down and learning them.